You have to feel it.
Yes.
With every death,
Yes.
you have to feel every death. You have to know that this is no longer serving you.
No.
You have to have the courage
to let go.
To let go, to look at it, to feel it,
Accept
to do the work
it.
that you need to go to the next level, the next version of you. Because if you
Yes.
don't, you're going to stay stuck.
Well, if you don't, it's just the lesson is gonna come back.
And it's going to keep repeating itself.
Yeah.
So until you... I am your host, your sister, Letitia Roll, and this mini-series features Crystal Streets, navigating toxic relationships and how to get back to self. Because, girl, we got this. So now, Crystal is approaching this whole new idea of the darkness, the hardness, the shadow work as a beautiful challenge to dance with.
Yeah.
You tell them to bring it on.
I mean, I stopped
Get
looking
into this.
Yeah, so instead of like looking at things as like bad or good, I look at it, I try to look at it from a very neutral space. Like with anything. Even like with past trauma or things that still trigger me. I know that I'm in a place of healing, or I've healed from those moments when I can come with no emotional charge from a neutral space. You always want to be in a neutral space, because when you're in a neutral space, like a zero state, you're in a space of surrender, right? And you can allow the divine to come in and fill the blanks. And it takes away, because as humans, we are so limited, right? We don't get this, but we're so limited by our minds. And most people in this world live in their minds. But if we can control our minds and get into our body and get into our heart space, we can start to approach these situations and these challenges, good or bad, as like, oh, this is a game.
Yes.
It's a game of life. It's literally a game. This is like the Matrix. Like, it happened.
I love that movie.
Yes. I let the things happen. I have a good laugh. I have a good cry. I dance. I do whatever I need to do to get it out. And then I return to my neutral state. And then I say, okay, I passed this test. This is what I say to the divine, to the universe, spirit guides, whoever you want to talk to. I say, I passed. Now give me my reward. Because behind every challenge, there's a hidden gift. And I always think when I'm in the dark, there's a light on the other side. How am I going to navigate? I just keep my mind focused on the end game, but not bypassing the emotions. Like, I'm allowing myself to feel, but I'm not staying in it as long.
Yes.
You understand? So
I get it.
Back in the day, used to go through a breakup or go through something, used to stay in it for months. Now I can move through something.
That's beautiful.
In
That's
a
a lot of
week.
growth.
Yeah,
That's a lot of
few
growth.
days.
I'm there, but I still have I don't dance right away.
Yeah.
I'm emotional.
Yeah.
So I still go, I grieve and I
Yeah.
feel my feelings. I have to cry and I have
Yeah.
to take it off of me emotionally. Crying is how I do that. And I walk a lot. When I'm grieving or when I'm going through something hard, I know that my body is the most important tool to keep me moving, to keep my health. And then from there, it's really important for me to really stay in tune with my health.
Yes.
And my emotions, and to feel the emotions, because I'm the type that
You'll sweep it if
I'll
you
sweep
can.
it under the rug.
Yeah.
I don't want to cry. I don't want to deal with. I was not like.
You're an Aquarius.
I'm Aquarius. I'm an
I'm a
athlete.
Pisces.
I'm all the things.
I want to feel all the things.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
I want to feel it. I'm used to being in my emotions. So people who aren't very emotional, like my emotional landscape is where I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
Where that's the opposite for you.
Right.
So I'm feeling everything already all the time.
Right.
Right. So if I am in my emotion, and what you're saying is great. Crying is a beautiful release. This last eclipse, I had the most beautiful crying release. Like, I cried for over an hour, and it was such like therapy. It was so therapeutic. I sat in it, and I didn't allow myself to get up at all. I didn't allow myself to stop. And then my daughter came in, and she saw me. And I was like, y'all, I was boo-hooing. I was like, I mean, the snot, the tears, all of it. But she saw me, and I didn't even try to get myself together. I said, baby, you know what? I'm moving through something. I said, I'm okay. I'm moving through it. but I'm moving through it. Just allow me to move through it, but I'm okay.
Yes.
She gave me a minute. Then she came back. You know what she did? She said, do you need a hug? And I was like, oh, yes. And guess what I did? My 15-year-old teenage daughter, I laid my head on her bosom and I cried like a baby. And she held the space for me. Like, that's the first time I allowed someone to hold the space for me beside a girlfriend or like a partner. My child, where the roles are usually reversed, where I'm holding the space. And that's what I was talking about, getting to a place of healing where you can receive. Now I'm receiving from my children. Now that's my son, special. He comes and kisses me on the forehead and he's like, I love you, mommy, so much. So it's like allowing your feelings to be, allowing whatever it is to come through, because in those releases, y'all, like, it's so important to feel it, because in order to heal it, you got to feel it.
You have to feel it.
Yes.
With every death.
Yes.
You have to feel every death. You have to know that this is no longer serving you.
No.
You have to have the courage
to let go.
To let go, to look at it, to feel it, accept to do the work that you need to go to the next level, the next version of you. Because if you don't, you're going to stay stuck.
Well, if you don't, it's just the lesson is going to come back.
And it's going to keep repeating itself.
Yeah.
So until you face it head on and sit with your feelings and say, look, this has got to change.
Yeah, the buck stops here.
You got to look at yourself in the mirror, because there's so many times where we're looking at other people and we're blaming it on other people. We're blaming it on other people. No, this is your responsibility. This is your life. You are the artist. You are the masterpiece. You are the author to your book. So when there is a death, when you know that there are parts of you that are changing, you have to have the courage to move through. Because as you're moving through these emotions, you're becoming so much wiser for your children. You're becoming such a powerful force for your children. You're becoming such...
For yourself.
Yes.
For myself.
Becoming your highest self.
Yes.
As you change within these deaths and in rebirth.
Yes. And you know what? The more and more you get to a place of acceptance in this, it was like, when I tell y'all, I had a long, like, this was my longest run ever of being in my butterfly phase, where I just, like, I had a good run, right? And that's what I want y'all to understand, too. Life is a journey. It's about the ebbs and the flows, the peaks, the valleys, the highs and the lows. But if you can just accept it, that's life. That's life. It's life. It's going to happen.
And it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yes, and it's temporary. Everything is temporary.
I have to share something. So I actually have a tattoo of a smiley face on my hand.
Where?
Right here. It's like my skin tone.
Ooh.
A lot of people don't know it's a tattoo for me.
Now.
So this happy face was when I had a really low time in my life. I was very depressed. I was very confused. I was in my Saturn return, and I had a moment where I was like, I'm tired of living. Like, I did everything that I wanted to do. Kind of ideating suicide in a sense. And I was like, I'm tired. It was just getting hard. I was repeating the same pattern. I thought I healed. I thought I was on the path, and then something hit me again. And it's defeating.
Yeah.
And it's very hard. But then I had to get deeper within myself. I called on my friends. I called on my family and the people that I love to come and support me. I remember my sister came and stayed with me for a couple days until I felt full again, until I felt like this was just temporary.
Yeah.
So I have a tattoo of a smiley face because I still have low lows.
Yeah.
And I still have moments where I'm like, what is happening?
Right.
And I have to look at my smiley face to remember this is just temporary. So this smile is like, you're still there.
Yeah.
The smiley you is still within you. These feelings that you're feeling are just temporary and you're not alone. Because a death can be really hard. When I was going through that moment, I was putting to rest an old Letitia, the only Letitia that I knew at that time, who put on masks, that was pleasing people, that was showing up like I knew everything, that was showing up, closing deals, that was not taking care of herself, that was taking care of other people. That's how I identified, was being of service to others. I didn't know what it was like to take care of me or to pour into me because I'm so good at pouring into others.
Exactly.
And I think we do that as women, as a gender, as a literally, that's our job. We nurture and we pour. But you have to do that for yourself.
Yes, it's all about you.
You have to do that for yourself.
You have to. And I just want to piggyback on that. My last death experience, it allowed me, I came to terms with something very profound for me. And it was like, I was still holding space for people to heal. I was still holding space for people to come meet me. I was still holding space for people to be healthier, to do the right thing, to do all these things, the right thing, the best thing, the just to be healed, to work on themselves, to self-reflect. I was still holding, and I was like, I can't hold this anymore. I can't hold this for anybody. I am not responsible for anybody else's healing, and I have to clear this space, let this cycle go, let this energy, so that when you do that, you make space for something very beautiful to enter. When you let go, when you surrender, when you release, when you make space in a place of trust, it allows you to bring in something very, very beautiful.
And this is the rebirth.
That is the rebirth.
The rebirth is the new you. And it takes some time to discover her.
It does.
It takes some time to step into your power and say no.
It does.
It takes time to allow that person who's not willing to heal and you saying, I'm not going to fix him.
Yeah.
I'm going to let him be him.
Exactly. Acceptance.
But once you start, and it's a practice.
Yes.
It's a day by day.
Yes.
It's an honoring of yourself.
Yes.
And guess what? Sometimes we regress. Sometimes you may try to fix.
Yes.
Sometimes I might go back to people pleasing.
Same.
I've done it.
I've done it too.
It's okay.
Yes.
That's the journey, because healing is not linear.
Right.
People think like, oh, she's healed. She doesn't. No, baby.
Yes.
It's like this.
Yes.
Because life is still going to be lifing.
Life is going to be lifing.
Life is always going to life. It's up to you to create the tools to understand where you can get back to yourself during these hard times.
Yeah.
How can I get back to Letitia when she's grieving, when there's loss, when there's hard times, when there's catastrophe going on with the globe, when there's wars happening around you, when there's deaths?
Yes.
How do you get back to yourself?
You get back to yourself. Let's talk about that. You get back to yourself by finding stillness, by finding peace within. I say your body is your first home. I always say that.
So true.
So if you create a safe, peaceful place inside of yourself, it doesn't matter what is going on around the world. You always have a place to return to recover, to recharge. So finding stillness, knowing like how you can regulate your nervous system.
How can you?
Breath work.
And how do you?
My breath, I call it a transformational breath, and this is how I work with clients. The breath work that I facilitate, it allows clients to reach their deepest part of their subconscious, where all those beliefs and limiting beliefs and trauma lives. And I guide them almost as like a cosmic guide, an alchemist, I call myself. I'm a shadow worker, basically. I am very comfortable in the dark. Like nothing scares me anymore. So I'm literally guiding people into the darkest parts of themselves and having them face themselves head on. But it's through breath work where you can access this breath. It's a 3-part breath. It's all done in and out through the mouth, but people sleep on it. But I just recently had a male client, and I didn't realize how like primal men are. And this gentleman, he has so resistant. He was so in his head. And I was just like, get fucking out of your head and get into your body. And his release was so primal. And it was beautiful because at a time where I was like, and often my clients are medicine for me too, right? So at a time where I was like looking at like, when are these people, men in my life, gonna heal and step up to the plate and become more emotionally intelligent, to witness a man going through this death and rebirth in front of me was the medicine that I needed. And that helped me heal.
Good for him and good for you.
Yeah, so regulating your nervous system, breath work, taking walks, being in peace, allowing yourself to rest. The go, the masking is not it.
It's not it.
Allowing yourself to recharge and rest. And when I say regulate your nervous system, regulating your nervous system means that because if you've experienced any sort of trauma, your body has stored this trauma in a certain place. And soon as you are reminded of that trauma in any way, the body goes back to that exact feeling, that exact emotion. And sometimes it's not even about the thing you do. So say if when you get depressed, you go and you emotionally eat. It's not even about really you eating. It's really about what's behind the emotion behind why you're eating.
Yes.
Like, is it really guilt that you're holding on to? Because when you go and eat, you feel guilty, you know what I'm saying? So is it the guilt, or is it like when you go like abuse your body or do anything to yourself that isn't in alignment with your soul? It's like you got to ask yourself those questions, like what is this really about? Always going back to the root
and getting deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yes.
It's like peeling the onion.
Yes.
And your eye's gonna start tearing.
Oh, and it might not be cute.
It might get in your eye and you're gonna cry.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And it might not be pretty. It's never pretty.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Because there's beauty in chaos.
And just accepting all parts of yourself.
And one thing I would like to really give to our audience is grace.
Yes.
You have given so many people grace in your lifetime. I know you have, sis.
Yes.
From people that you love, jobs, careers, relationships, family. Give yourself grace. Perfectionism is something that I feel like a lot of us deal with.
Yes.
We have to do this. Give yourself grace.
I don't. I hang it up.
You're beautiful just as you are. It's okay.
Yes.
And she has this beautiful gift where she's not worrying about what other people think. I had this issue where I did worry about what other people think. I would put on a mask. I would show up prim and proper. I would do all of these things. But guess what? She's dead. And now she's coming up and showing up like this. And it's okay. I can sit here and tell you, I'm still healing.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of work, but I'm still healing.
And you will still, like, I don't think it ever stops, to be honest with you.
No.
I just want to give you guys a news flash. It never stops, but it gets easier.
Yes.
Like, the lows aren't as low.
Yes.
You learn how to navigate it faster, healthier, with tools.
Yes.
You have to have a toolbox.
And I think for me, the rebirth, when you start feeling back into your power, the rebirth is for me is when I'm back here sitting with women and having these powerful conversations to really help you relate, to know that you're not alone, to understand that, sis, it's okay to not be fully all together.
Yes.
It's okay to come up here and show and share my vulnerabilities. It's okay to not be okay.
It's okay.
That's when we're in our power.
Yes, it's okay.
It's okay because you are worthy. You are of everything that your heart desires is within you. You are worth, you are enough, and you are not alone. That's what the rebirth is to me.
It is.
Is owning all of my insecurities.
Yes.
Owning all the parts that I'm still working on and still showing up for you, for us as a collective.
And
to grow together.
Yeah, returning to your authenticity. Like, who is your most authentic self? Return to her. That is the rebirth.
I want to discuss some modalities for our audience that we can do when we're in that death, in that in-between phase. So when we're in the caterpillar phase, so caterpillars, they grow and then they fly.
Yes.
And then they die. And then the caterpillars come. So in the in-between,
the void,
what are different modalities that you could recommend? Because I know you do this as a shadow work. You mentioned breath work.
Yeah.
I mentioned hypnotherapy. It was really crucial for me. It helped me so much.
I think once you get to a place of releasing all of that, you have to allow integration to happen, because sometimes what you've done on a spiritual, energetic level, it takes a moment for the physical body to actually catch up with the healing that you have have experienced. So you have to give yourself time for integration, and that's what that kind of like void, being in that little dark void space, is allowing yourself integrate everything that you just move through. And what does that mean? Integration means you being still, you allowing your body to rest and recharge, you giving yourself a safe space, you giving yourself grace and time, getting body work done, acupuncture, massages.
Acupuncture changed my life.
Yes, me too.
Acupuncture is a great modality to use.
Yes.
Massages are necessary for my life.
Same, yeah.
Talk therapy also has been vital for me.
Me too.
It is allowing yourself to just own your own story.
Get in nature. Nature is, I mean, you connect to Mother Gaia. I mean, there is nothing like grounding and sitting in nature. Like, I don't know if you know this, but trees transmute negative energy. So when I'm going through something, I have my special trees, I call them my ancestors, and I just hug on them and I sit under them and I allow them to help me transmute the energy that I'm moving through. So it's very simple, and it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. It can be, you can go get acupuncture, you can go see a therapist, or you can go in nature. You can use your own body. Breath is free.
And I want to say, too, there are so many resources online, on YouTube. You can reach out to her specifically on Instagram. We will have it in the comment section here. She can guide you with breath work. There are so many apps that have breath work. Meditations have changed my life. There are so many resources that you can do for yourself and create a toolbox of when these deaths and rebirths come, you're prepared for it.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, meditations have been a key. I start every morning with tea and 15 to 20 minutes to myself.
Yes.
And I'm not a mother yet. Yeah. So I can only imagine what
I do
mothers
30 minutes.
Deal with.
I get up at 5:30, y'all.
Yes.
And I do about 15 minutes meditation. I drink water. I don't look at my phone. I drink a glass of water and allow it to clear my body. I imagine it like cleaning my organs, my blood, my cell. And then I do some like sacred movement. I stretch. And then I do some affirmations. At night, I play an affirmation track with what I'm struggling with or challenged with at the time. I play an affirmation track that loops into my subconscious mind, just feeding it and feeding it and feeding it. So that's another thing.
Yeah.
Continuing to reprogram the subconscious mind, because those are the beliefs that sit and will direct you and attract the things that you're experiencing. So if you can reprogram that, change that, then gold. Yes.
And
so
don't be scared of
Don't be scared. Don't be scared of death.
Don't be scared of death. And I know it's scary. And I know you're like, dude, what? Sis, what is happening? But it's a part of this life's journey.
It is.
And it's only going to allow you to become your highest, greatest, most beautiful, inspiring you.
Yes. I tell my clients, come to me when you're ready to die.
But it's true.
It is.
And then she gets to see them grow and evolve into these beautiful,
I get to witness the
beautiful
process.
humans.
I'm honored by that.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
So thank you so much. This has been amazing.
Yes.
Right?
The death and the rebirth of us.
Yes.
There's a lot of deaths. And as you listened to in the last episode, the letting go of unhealthy relationships, of people that we thought we couldn't live without, people that we needed, letting go
identities,
of unhealthy
jobs,
issues,
careers.
Yes. Let it go, sis.
Let it go.
We got this.
Surrender. You got this. We got this.
We got this.
I know you can do it.
Girl.
We got this.